Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here today. My name is Dave Salter. I'm the Communications Director for the St. John's IceCaps. And we're very fortunate how it worked out today that we were able to unveil our jerseys with the Montreal Canadiens alumni hockey school here happening with the Heart and Stroke Foundation, Newfoundland and Labrador Hockey School. So first, I want to thank them for welcoming us and opening up the doors for us here today. And I also want to just make a point of thanking the former Montreal Canadiens that we're fortunate to have here with us today. Goaltender Richard Sevigny, Sevigny from the Montreal Canadiens from the early 80s. Defenseman Gilbert Delorme is here as well. Gaston Gingras, defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens, and Sergio Momesso, who also is a broadcaster for the Canadiens and a former member of the Montreal Canadiens as well. So guys, thank you so much for being here today and being part of this, and it's just so fitting that we're able to have the Montreal Canadiens alumni here today to do this. So without further ado, I'm going to bring out and introduce our new head coach, Sylvain Lefebvre, and our president and CEO, Danny Williams, and they'll come out and say a few quick words and model off the very sharp new St. John's IceCaps jersey. So guys, come on out.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's warmer in here than it has been outside for the last 30 days, anyway. Well, Jack Byrne, late Jack Byrne, would be a very proud man if he was here this morning with the distinguished guests that we have with us here today. First of all, I want to welcome our Canadiens alumni, all big names in their own right, every single one of them, and of course, Dave has already introduced them. I want to welcome all our young athletes and hockey players here who are here with the Heart and Stroke Foundation camp, something very dear to my heart because I had a surgery 5 or 6 years ago, so that's something that means an awful lot to me. But I guess our guest of honor is Sylvain Lefebvre, our new coach of the St. John's IceCaps. Let's give him a big round of applause. This man brings a lot of credentials with him. He's a Stanley Cup champion. I think it was in 1996, so was that the year, if I remember correctly? Yeah. And won it with the Colorado Avalanche, or was it the Rockies, or the Colorado Avalanche. And of course his coaches at that time were Mark Crawford and Joel Quenneville. And of course they coached here when we went to the third period of the Calder Cup final and just barely lost it by that much. So they were great members of the community. We thought very highly of it. Of course, you've seen the success that Mark and, of course, Joel has had even this year. So to have a coach of Sylvain's caliber who has already won a Stanley Cup, he's played with Montreal, he's played with Toronto, he's played with the Nordique Colorado franchise, and he's also played with the New York Rangers. As well, the interesting thing about coming from Colorado is that the Mile High Stadium was in Colorado. Our stadium is called Mile One. And I know there's a connection because we named it, and because I had the naming rights at the time, and we got the idea for Mile One from Mile High. So there's a real connection. So he's come full circle. We're absolutely delighted to have him and his wife, his lovely wife, who I met for the first time last night, Marie-Claire, who's here, and he has 4 children. Now they're older children, so they might be spending all their time, of course, in St. John's. However, I'm sure we'll get a chance to see a lot of them. We certainly welcome Sylvain and Marie-Claire and the entire family to St. John's. They love the community. And of course, with their Quebec connections, I said to them last night, there's a really strong connection between us and the Quebecers, remember the Montreal community, same culture, with similar cultures, similar love of music, similar love of family and community. So we have a lot in common. Also, the hockey atmosphere here is tremendous. And we talked about it last night. We talked about it again this morning. To be here in a community which is virtually sold out since its inception. Actually, if I remember correctly, Dave, it was 4 years ago today that we actually launched the first IceCaps jersey. And so it's interesting that we're back 4 years later. Which takes me to something else. What we're wearing here today looks a lot better on this gentleman than it does on me because it fits him and he deserves to wear it. Is our new jersey and our new logo. I think the combination of the colors with our former logo, but to have those brilliant, bright red, white, and blue Montreal Canadiens colours. We're so proud to have it, and we think it'll be well received, certainly by our fans, and I know all you guys will certainly love to get one of those jerseys. And they'll be available a little later, not available on sale today as I understand it, but they'll be available later. So overall, from our perspective, to have someone of Sylvain's caliber here, to have the depth and strength and talent of the Montreal alumni, and to have them to be teaching our young people here in the community, to be affiliated with the great Molson's organization, for us is a great honor. It's something, if you had to ask me a year ago, I would never have dreamed of. I would have said there was a very, very small chance. I'm not one to be a pessimist, but that's optimism beyond all belief. And, Glenn Stanford is a big part of all of that. Glenn Stanford's with the Hamilton franchise for a long period of time. He has great connections and strength and depth in the whole Canadiens organization. So when he made that link and we were able to bring the Canadiens here, I'm very thankful to Glenn. Glenn is, of course, back over there by the door. But very thankful to Glenn. I want to give Glenn a big round of applause as well for helping to bring that here. And there's Mrs. Lefebvre over there. I didn't realize where she was. Will you give us a big wave, Marie-Claire, so everybody knows that you're there? She's shy, but she's a lovely, lovely, lovely woman. So I've said enough. Nobody wants to hear after hearing too much from me over the years anyway. If I can pass the mic over to our new head coach, Sylvain Lefebvre. Sylvain?
Well, thank you, Danny. Well, on behalf of the whole staff of, the ex-Hamilton Bulldogs and newly IceCaps here in St. John's, I can just tell you that we're delighted and very excited, to come to St. John's. The hockey atmosphere, and I was just, while you guys were waiting for us, we're in the background here, and Danny and I were talking about the fact that, having a packed building every night, playing in front of very animated fans, it's going to make an atmosphere for not only the players but for the staff, to be great to work in. And we were very excited for that. And you know what? The jersey looks great, don't you think? Yeah, right. It looks very similar to what Gilbert and Richard and Gaston and Sergio and myself, were when we played for the Montreal Canadiens. And we're very excited to be here. And I'm just going to leave you with that, the connection that you were making with the mile one and the mile high. The last time I was involved in the relocation of a team was with the Quebec Nordiques moving to Colorado. And what happened that first year when we were in Colorado, we won the cup. So hopefully the connection will go even further, and we're going to do the same thing here in St. John's. So I'm looking forward to it. So thank you very much, and it's great to be here.
Danny, tell us about your thoughts on the jersey and the process of coming up with the Canadiens colors.
Well, we were worried in the beginning that it might be a tough transition, but it was very, very seamless. I mean, our logo works with the jersey, but the most important thing was to get those very vibrant traditional Canadian colours, the red, white and blue. And, true Canadian fans, when they see that red jersey with the stripes, and then to see the St. John's logo in the middle of it and representing Newfoundland and Labrador, for me, that's a dream come true. A team called the Canadiens are here. They're in our province. They're in our capital city. Well, that's good stuff. And from a tourism promotion perspective, on behalf of the province, it's a big deal. We're in 29 other cities in North America, getting a chance to spread our name and our reputation around, and it's great. And of course, with this organization, they're a first-class organization, and there's absolutely no doubt about it. And the depth and the strength that they bring through the alumni course that we're here today, and to have those gentlemen with a group of youth in a camp and training them here, and we'll have more. We're told that that's an endless pit of talent. On top of that, to have Sylvain Lefebvre as a coach, I mean, it's incredible. He's a Stanley Cup champion, and of course, then he's got his connection with Joel Quenneville and Mark Crawford. Two truly successful people in their own right. So this couldn't be better. I mean, I think we're blessed to have this team here, and whether you're a Canadian fan or not, I mean, there's a mixed, the majority of fans in Newfoundland and Labrador are Canadians. But whether you are or not, I think people really respect this team and this organization, and I think they'll show up in droves to support the team.
One more question about the excitement here today. You know, Danny, we've had a few news conferences. The first one announcing the team was coming. You know, the second one welcoming the Canadiens executives to town. The third one finally unveiling the logo. But to have the jersey on your back really makes it feel tangible and real when you see the CH on the shoulders and you see those colors, as you said. Tell us about the excitement today that it really starts to feel that this is 100% real and happening. You know.
You know what was interesting, Dave? When we launched the hats and the T-shirts, and we had some golf shirts made up, and I've worn that golf shirt at a couple of tournaments, and people just look at it and they just love it because it has tradition and it has meaning. To put that jersey on today, I kind of felt humbled because I don't deserve to wear it, first of all, but to have Sylvain next to me, who's played for the team and who's got a Stanley Cup ring, to have these distinguished alumni behind me, and then to see the kids seeing this and intermingle with this, like, you can't put a price on that. But just to stand there with that jersey on, it was a real high moment for me, I can tell you. And I know by this gentleman as a coach, he's going to bring a lot to the city and to the community, and he'll enrich us by his presence here.
Danny, thanks for this and congratulations.
Thanks very much, Dave.
Sylvain, a special day for the IceCaps. We've had a few announcements about the Montreal Canadiens, affiliate coming here to St. John's, but to actually see the jersey makes it all seem real. Tell us your thoughts on the new IceCaps jerseys.
Well, it's great. The logo looks great, and the Montreal colors. It brings the tradition of the big club, and you can't ask for anything better than that. And it reminds me also, the sweater that I wore when I played for the Montreal Canadiens. So it's great.
Sylvain, thanks for this, and welcome to St. John's.
Thank you.